You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rudrance for Black and White Sports. Well, when it comes to monumental, legendary sports personalities, journalists, people that have covered sports, I believe this is the biggest name that has ever called out LeBron James over being a social justice warrior. Not like you'd think. Of course, LeBron is quick to run his mouth about anything going on here. But we know the one place he will not run his mouth about, no matter what, no matter how much we call him out, no matter how much somebody like Clay Travis calls him out or Jason Whitlock. But he has got called out by the legendary ESPN anchor, journalist Bob Ley. Bob Ley has called him out over the fact that LeBron James is just strangely quiet. Why? Because China lines his pockets. Well, and look, there was a time in the 80s when ESPN was great. It was absolutely great. 80s and 90s, frankly. And Bob Ley was one of the first ones to lead the charge. And, of course, he recently retired from ESPN. Now, there's been a lot of debate about this LIV golf tournament, and this was part of it. But Bob Ley calls him out. This is Breitbart. Former ESPN host Bob Ley says LeBron, quote, has a responsibility to speak on Chinese human rights abuses. And, of course, LeBron won't do it because he's a coward and he loves that money too much. ESPN's Bob Ley took aim at those attacking new Saudi-backed LIV Golf League over the country's human rights record, and at the same time, they ignore the NBA's connection to human rights abusing China, as nearly 24 pro golfers have jumped ship from the PGA Tour to join Saudi-backed pro league. Many have accused pros, including Phil Mickelson, Bruce Koepka, and Bryson DeChambeau, Dustin Johnson's over there now, of, quote, sports washing the Saudi government's human rights abuses. Indeed, a few weeks ago, Koepka blasted the media for constantly asking about the LIV League at the expense of even PGA's offerings. But during his visit with Michelle Beadle, she's got no love for LeBron, I can assure you. What Did I Miss podcast, Lee slammed the obsession over the league as a bit hypocritical, since the same critics are ignoring China's human rights abuses as they report on the NBA. It's real easy to be pissed off and angry about LIV Golf and the Saudis. All I ask for is philosophical and ideological consistency, Lee said. Apply it to China consistently, LeBron. Lee noted that the NBA had been found intimately connected to some of China's worst human rights abuses, but few in the media are much interested in discussing it. Quote, China has many issues as any other country, and is outrage tempered by the popularity of the sport or the dollars at stake, question mark. The former ESPN anchor noted how closely LeBron James, who had made a name for himself off the court as a, quote, human rights activist for U.S. issues, is connected to China. LeBron, I think, has a responsibility and an opportunity. More importantly, it's easy for people to come to the conclusion that players, at a time when social voice and equity are very much part of sports, more so than ever before, here's an opportunity to make a stand. If you are a billionaire, you can afford to perhaps make a stand and at least become educated. Lee also pointed out that there is not much by way of freedom of speech in China. Freedom of speech in China is a very different thing. Freedom of access to the internet is a very different thing. Are we comfortable dealing with a nation like that and putting it all on the table, Lee said. Those are questions people have to answer. If you want to get into the froth about LIV Golf, you have every right to. Take a pause, take a deep breath, and look at China and see, should this outrage or introspection and attention extend to the NBA? Lee is 100% right, of course. The left-wing sports media has willfully ignored not just the NBA's connection to China, but the connections all the sports leagues have when it comes to their products and supply chains. No one should excuse LIV for its connections to the Saudis, but they should not ignore China's massive human rights abuses either. And that was Breitbart. So, look, we have been raking LeBron over the coals over this China thing. Okay? Remember, I can't attend the Olympics because I'm trying to get Space Jam 2 into Chinese box office. By the way, I don't think it ever made it. And the movie bombed because it didn't have the backing of those Chinese dollars coming in. And I shit you not, that really did happen. He will not call a Nike. He's all up in Nike brand. Won't call out China because it's lining his pockets. He will run his mouth about everything. He will dox the police out. He'll run his mouth about how police are hunting black people to the point LA County deputies get shot. He goes out there, talks about a cop, that tried to put down a black girl, even though the cop was saving a black girl. He was defending a black life. LeBron just ignored that shit. All the things that LeBron has done, everything on the list. LeBron was always the one that was going or should step up and lead the charge against China when it comes to the NBA. He won't do it because of his pocketbook. He's too damn big of a coward. He's got to let somebody like Enes Kanter Freedom go out there and do it, who was a damn solid NBA player, but his NBA career is gone because he's the one that took the stand. Let LeBron take the stand, and then you guys have the balls to cut LeBron off a team. Let's see what happens. You ain't going to have to worry about it. LeBron's too big of a chicken shit. Bob Lee's right. LeBron's a billionaire. He should be the one stepping out there in the forefront of leading the charge and getting, not only the NBA, but some of these other sports leagues off the teat of China. He won't do it. He won't do it. This is the biggest name in the echelons of sports journalism, anchors, anything like that, sports personalities. Bob Lee's the biggest name to call out LeBron on this issue. Clay Travis, Jason Whitlock, yeah, they're big names. Bob Lee is 40 years legendary in the sports business. Everybody know who Bob Lee is. Everybody's seen Outside the Lines. Everybody's seen SportsCenter. Everybody's seen everything he's ever done. It's a damn shame that he had to get older and then no longer be at ESPN. But good that LeBron got called out by somebody the stature of Bob Lee. And bravo to Bob Lee for doing it. Peace. I'm out. Till next time. Black and White Network supporters, make sure you check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. Link in the description. Use promo code USA First, all one word. USA First, all one word. 25% off now.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.